When we create anything, we draw upon our own experiences. And that is especially true for good food. हम हमेशा यही कोशिश करते हैं कि जो हम खाना या आर्ट बनाएं, उसमें से वो कहानियाँ निकल के आए जो कहानियाँ हमने देखी और सुनी है. And that kind of art and that kind of food is extremely personal. आप अगर उस खाने को चखते हैं, तो शेफ की यादें और उनका बचपन आपके सामने आ जाता है. And that experience is priceless. You can't put a price tag on it. Which is why today we're at Lavash by Saby, and we're here to try one such experience and their beautiful Armenian food. But today's episode is special. You see, the directors and supreme overlords here at EatTreat don't like the fact that I'm a sad and lonely person, and they don't like the fact that I've come to this beautiful and romantic restaurant all by myself. Which is why they've set me up on a date. A blind date. Anyway, that is for later. Right now, let's go and meet the brains behind this fantastic restaurant. So hello chef.
Hi, how are you, man? Welcome to the kitchens.
Thank you, the kitchens. So what are you going to make for us right now?
Very simple, quick dish because we don't want to keep you in the heat for a very long time. We want you to eat something interesting. Cheese is from Kalimpong. This beautiful cheese, which is almost like a combination of an Edam and a Gouda, done by the French missionaries. I'm going to use this bread influence, which came from the Armenian influence. It's called a bread pie or a pide. We've made this bread ring, which is held by the sal patta. I'm going to just quickly break 2 eggs into it. Put a bit of grated Kalimpong cheese. So I'm going to just put it in the oven, bake it for a couple of minutes, and that's about it. Fairly simple, very quick, fix, simple recipe. There you go. It's going inside. Yeah. We're going to bring it out when the yolk is still a bit runny.
Acha, okay.
So the maza is that the egg is cooked, but the yolk is still a bit runny.
Yeah. Okay. That's the best kind of egg.
So it's your breakfast heaven. Do you like chili? Can I put a little?
Oh yeah, I love chili.
Okay, there you go. So a bit of toasted red chilies here and there.
Like it's not the same thing that you will get say in Armenia. This is our version.
Our version of the pide. So pide is still made in Armenia or Poland, but they'll obviously not use a rock salt from India. Maybe the chilies would be an jalapeno or some kind of a pickled chili. Okay. Maybe we can just a little bit of coriander on one side.
It's like one of those things that you would have in the morning every day. Just go like, "Arey yaar, aaj pide ka man kar raha hai."
And now you'll know why I use the pattal, because the egg would be retained because of the patta at the. See, now it's flowing egg, but yet the patta would hold the thing together.
It looks delicious. I'm just gonna.
So you have to take the egg yolk as your sauce.
Exactly.
So the flowing egg yolk is your sauce, your salt, your chili, your cheese. So it's like like an explosion of flavor and very soulful.
Why Armenian food? Why this sort of particular thing? What happened?
It is actually not Armenia. For me, like I said, my journey with soda bottle, it's my life in Bombay. So this is my childhood in Asansol. So there was a small community that was staying in that area and they ran small businesses like the bakeries, they ran the schools, they ran some of the jute and steel and iron factories and all of that, because they were primarily a trade community. And it was not just Armenian, it was Armenian and Jewish, both of them. So a lot of the influence, like in our homes, we will eat dolma. Or dolmadas that became dolma in a Bengali home, or the Jewish pilav that became a biryani in the home, and things like that. So there's a major cultural assimilation. It's like a melting pot of these cultures.
Another question is, coming back to Delhi and where we are now, why here?
My dad's life, very small, humble, middle class, as we say middle class, but primarily lower middle class. In his entire life, he's just managed to come to Delhi once in his life, okay? And his memory is coming to Qutub Minar and holding that, the Ashok Stamp.
Yeah, bilkul, wo jo try karne.
So all my childhood I've grown up hearing that because that's his memory bank. Because for him it's his high point in life. So when this restaurant, and I'm thinking of this restaurant, I'm thinking it should be somewhere next to Qutub, because that really connects to me growing up as a kid. hearing this story. Also, when I saw this site, this whole old feel. It's a heritage listed building, right?
Achha.
You see the high ceiling. If you see the arches, it's very much similar. The Iranian, Parsi, Armenian architecture is very similar.
Exactly.
But this hues of blue color and all is what we had to bring in. But the structure was very much like an old Haveli.
So it just sort of clicked when you saw
it clicked. It also faces the Qutub.
You've got a lot of vegetarian dishes on your menu. Some 30 something out of a 40 something dishes are vegetarian, and that's something that people will go, but and usually that's the opposite.
You know, I think it is our culture.
Hanji.
We are predominantly a vegetarian country.
Bilkul.
We ate meat as one meal or a part of one meal. So if you see the three diets that Ayurveda talks about, Sattvic, Tamasic and Rajasic,
Bilkul.
it's purely based on your body need, calorific need and what you're burning out through the day.
Anyway, so one last thing, this is such a beautiful place, and it's always been this, like, you know, from what I've heard, everybody's like, oh, you want to go on a date? Go to Lavash. Why do you think this sort of atmosphere has been created around this place?
I think the romance is in the storytelling, the romance is in sitting out in a beautiful open courtyard, looking at the Qutub. I've really worked to create that mood, not necessarily to make it romantic or just to attract young couples. I'm happy that is happening.
Anyway, thank you. We're going to move forward, and we're going to try another dish and see how it is made.
Fantastic, let's go. Recipe is from my learning. Basic ingredients is black sesame.
Yeah.
Okay, so there goes black sesame. I just made a powder out of it.
Yeah.
Dahi, mustard oil, and then of course my coarse salt.
Rock salt.
Okay.
This is such good salt.
Salt. I'm going to get you to taste this a bit.
Okay.
Chili and salt, and this is also a very unique recipe.
Wow.
Here there are 3 ingredients and ginger garlic. So that's all that we have. Chicken cut into smaller pieces. You see the sal patta is everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
From storing, from keeping, from cooking. We use a lot of haldi in our cooking, primarily because haldi came from the background of Eastern India, Northeast with fresh haldi, then the amba haridra. We also use it in our morning things, as a skin thing, as
it's everything.
I also have a cocktail that I make with haldi. You see the popping from the, you see the pop of the sesame popping.
That's
okay,
it.
there you go. So we're going to serve it with the iconic Lavash bread. Thoda chips bhi leke aana, Lavash chips. And we're going to give it to you with a bit of kasundi. So that's the Lavash. A bit of the kasundi. Want to try?
It's going to go straight to my nose, I'm telling you.
And we make an in-house spice.
And we're going to try the beautiful dishes that you've made. We're really excited. Thank you very much for your
most
time.
welcome. Thank you.
It was wonderful speaking to you. Anyway, so now we're going to move on forward to the next segment. So yeah, right now I'm waiting for my date to turn up. Abhi tak aayi nahi hai. I don't know who she is. I don't know what she looks like. I don't know anything about her. All I know is that her name is Priyata. And yeah, let's wait. Let's see what happens. You'll now see how awkward a man can be on camera. That is how awkward I'm going to be. Hello. How are you? Have a seat. Baitho. So, don't be afraid. The cameras are really. I'm sure this is probably the most awkward thing you've ever done in your life.
So far,
yeah. So this is the spirit I admire. The most awkward thing so far. Ye nahi. So have you been here before? Have you haven't?
No, this is my first
This is
time.
your first time. Have you had Armenian food before?
You can say so.
Kya khaya?
Kebabs and shit.
Kebabs and shit. Best. Thank you. Great. See, this is how it's supposed to be done. It's a lovely place.
From now
though,
on, I
you
guess we'll help ourselves with the bottle.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. That's lovely.
Which
This
wine
is
is
great.
this?
I love this job. This is totally. This is a
Totally
Shiraz.
wine.
Yeah, it's a Shiraz. Not bad. Okay, thank you, sir.
Small servings.
Yeah, wine is just much.
Not a wine person.
Just. Woohoo! Fancy schmancy! question us. Do you think dinner dates are now going away? Like, what do you think is like, because nobody goes on dinner dates anymore.
Says who?
Says like a lot
Like
of
you
people.
don't go, like you don't have a life. You don't go for dinner dates.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa. When you are thinking of going out on a dinner date, what do you look for in a place?
Of course, the ambience. Because you know it speaks to you before even you look at the menu. So then it has to be nicely lit up, pretty, and then of course the food has to be.
Oh, that's the food is here. Lovely. Bahut badhiya. That is from ma'am. This is very hot. This is chicken.
This is the special chicken.
So let's dig in. Okay, have you seen any of the shows? You've seen
I just saw one episode
and
where
that
you
was
were shouting butter होना चाहिए, chicken होना चाहिए और कुछ नहीं चाहिए.
That sounds like me. Cool.
But good.
It's really good.
Wow.
I wish you could eat chicken because this is really good.
But the spinach is like really speaking to you.
The spinach?
Uh-huh.
What is your favorite Shah Rukh Khan film?
I don't like Shah Rukh Khan.
You don't like Shah Rukh Khan? That's okay, but what is your one film that you've seen of Shah Rukh Khan that you like?
Shah Rukh Khan movie. I think I really like Chak De India. For the kind of movie it was.
Yeah, but you didn't like Shah Rukh Khan.
So, I mean, I don't mind Shah Rukh Khan. It could have been anybody else for me there.
What is your favorite Shah Rukh Khan movie?
Sorry, Shah
Tell
Rukh.
us in the comments. Do you have any interesting first date, bad first date stories? This is not a bad first date.
No, definitely not.
Sounds good.
I'm having good food. How could it be bad? I don't know. I haven't been on a lot of dates, but then I remember this one guy I met like once. Of course, it was the first and the last date. So he comes up to me and he says, so we were generally talking about stuff. And then he says, you know, so I was talking to this another girl and she turned out pretty sweet on phone calls and all. And when we met and she was like, you know, she was like really fat like an elephant and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you cannot be judging another girl right in front of me.
Yeah,
and then I just didn't take up any calls and he was blocked. So don't be judgy.
Don't be judgy.
Don't be judgy.
Guys, if you guys have some really bad date experiences, put them down in the comments. अभी हम खाना खा रहे हैं, थोड़ी बातचीत करेंगे and we'll see you on the other side. So Priya, the moment of truth, खाना कैसा लगा तुम्हारे को?
खाना amazing था, especially the combination of cheese and spinach and wine and the ambience. It was just 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. And what rating would you give it out of 5?
I'd give it a good 4.5 on 5.
Not bad. I would give it a full 5 on 5. In addition to all that she said, खाने के पीछे जो कहानियाँ थी जो शेफ साबी ने बताई थी, they sort of really added to the taste for me at least.
So if you guys are coming here, the cost for 2 is 1500 without alcohol, but totally worth it.
Totally worth it. हमेशा की तरह like, share, comment, subscribe करते रहेगा. हमारी वीडियोस को प्यार दिखाते रहेगा. अपनी मम्मी के साथ शेयर करो, अपने पापा के साथ शेयर करो, अपनी ताई के साथ शेयर करो, अपनी चाचा के साथ शेयर करो. Share it with everybody and see you on the next YouTube video. Till then, I'm Shashank.
And I'm Priyata.
And you have been served.